are very clear that anybody who will be arrested or anybody who will be picked up or any case that will be filed will be purely on the basis of evidence. What happened was not correct. And when we had gone with a very, very positive intention, and we had gone with the concerns of the people, and I had no reason to agree to their request of going to the location. I could have easily stuck to my stand that no, they should come to Circuit House, which is what the security agencies wanted me to do. But I said no, I am concerned and I am genuinely wanting to resolve this. And I have no ego problem or anything where it looks bad for me to go. I'll go if it helps the cause. I have no problem in going, and I went, as I said, with a very, very positive and a very clean thought that I'll be able to talk to them and will be able to find a way forward. As I said, so now when all of this happened, this attack that took place, from all the statements that we could make out while we were in the room, that there were external agencies or organizations or groups or individuals who were not connected with this came in, and hence there were indications, and it just so happened that a lot of these people who were then shouting outside, especially and instigating, happened to be from certain political parties who were past candidates of certain political parties, and hence from that angle that link was there. But I want to make it very clear, we are not going by political parties, or we're not even trying to say that this is this political party, that political party. All we are saying is that everything will be based on evidence. No matter what party an individual may belong to, or what organization may belong to, or whatever background the person may be from, if the person, based on proof and evidence, was involved in instigating and was involved in any way in the incident, that time will be, action will be taken against those individuals. When these situations are there were few bikes that were going around that time, and that is when we communicated to the respected minister, and the respected minister came back. So she did not proceed to Tura, because we said that, look, whatever the situation may be, and I know that you're going there for a different purpose. She was going there for the review of the medical department and the health department, and all the MLAs and everybody was supposed to be there. So it was a completely different purpose of the visit. But when we got information that there was certain concerns, and there were certain people who were on bike, and there's a black flag and all that stuff. So we did take the step, as you correctly said. We did take the step, and we told her, look, let's not instigate at this point in time. You come back. So she came back, and then accordingly, as I said, the situation was controlled. And then, of course, as I said, the next step was for the chief minister to go there, because that's what they have. His organizations had mentioned that we would like to meet and talk and speak to chief minister. And as I said, and that's when the rest of the things followed. We had gone there with a very positive intention. Number one, the initial gatherings in the last 2 weeks when they were doing the fasting, the gathering was limited to, on an average, 10 to 15 people. And hence it was more on looking at this situation that that Section 144 was not felt at that point in time by the administration. But of course, the administration will be in a better position to comment on it. But as I said, in the initial part, the people who were involved, and the numbers were very small. And though we had some intel about, as I said, that that there could be some pressure in that area if we go. Two things, as I said. Number one, I was going with a very, very clear mind that I would like to resolve it and find a way forward. And so were the NGOs, because when they came in, they discussed with me for long, And they even went out and they said even they were surprised to see the kind of people, because they said that we don't even know who these people are. These are exact words I'm telling you, which they said. They said we don't know, and then they came out with a statement also later on, in a video also, as well as on Facebook, where they apologized, saying that the talks and discussions were going on very well with the Chief Minister, and we were happy and we were finding a way forward, and then suddenly this thing happened. So it was to a large extent unexpected that somebody would go to that extent of doing this kind of an attack, and that too on Chief Minister and the ministers who were inside. So it was not expected that it would go. We expected some kind of aggression, but we thought that we'll be able to talk to them. And as I said, for me, the main purpose was to find a way forward, and I was going with good intentions. But as I said, yes, it didn't turn out the way we expected it. But the police after that were able to control the situation once this entire thing broke out, and within 2 hours, that too, please remember, without using any excessive force, which I was very, very, very particular about from the beginning. I told the SP and others that we will not use excessive force, we're not going to use weapons. We'll control the crowd, use the minimum force required, which is whatever tear gas, or at the most lathi can be used, but no weapons that will be in any way lethal cannot be used. I was very particular, and with that limited option, the police was able to control things, and in a matter of 2-3 hours, we were more or less in a controlled situation. And beyond that, then after that, the NGOs were still inside. I just want to also share with you that all the NGO leaders who were there, they could not leave. They were concerned, they were worried. They themselves said, "Sir, we cannot leave." And they asked for security. And at the end, we provided them escort to go. And I waited there, and even the injured who were there, the police, which again is a very, very unfortunate thing, and I condemn this. It's not about my being there as Chief Minister, but what happened to the armed forces, what happened to the police, who were really there to do their duty and protect, had to go through all of that, and that is really something that I was very, very unhappy about. And I was there when they were being stone pelted and when they got hurt. And what upset me even more was that when the ambulance was going to drop them to the hospital, even that ambulance was attacked. And we know as individuals that even in war time, if ambulance is going, we don't never attack an ambulance. We let that ambulance go. So it was very, very sad to see the kind of thing. And that ambulance could have been anybody. It could have been an old person in the ambulance. It could have been a mother in the ambulance. It could have been a small child in the ambulance. So, it was very unfortunate that it went to that extent, and you could see the kind of, intention that they came with was very wrong. Arrests that are being made are purely on the basis of evidence. And the evidence is clear because the video recordings are there. And based on these video recordings and evidences, the action is being taken. So it is every action and everybody being arrested, and every individual who's there, who's going to be arrested in the future, or any action going to be taken in the future, is based on pure evidence.
Well, sir, DGP has mentioned that it was done, pre-planned conspiracy was done with an intention to going up to the extent of murdering you, because this is a big statement that DGP has made. So what do you have to say about this?
No, that of course only DGP can tell you, and only the inquiry that is going to come in will then finally give the clear picture of what it was. But as I said that, whatever happened, it is unprecedented in one way. And when Chief Minister is going with the intention to really solve the problem, we are going with the intention of doing good for the people, and and all the different development works that we're doing. There could be people who hate us, but obviously this kind of action cannot be justified in any way. And it is wrong for anybody to think that they can take the law in their hand in this manner and get away with it. So the police, of course, being an unprecedented situation and an incident, of course, they have their own way of inquiring and look into it. So the best thing to do is to allow the police to do their part in terms of taking necessary steps and action to catch the people who were involved in this, and finding out also the reasons and the purpose of what really was the intention. Because as I said, the NGOs mentioned that they had no clue on who these people were, and this was said right in the room while the stones were being pelted at us. The NGOs repeated again and again, said that we have no idea, sir. We were just few people. We have come for a non-violent way of finding a solution. This is an issue that's important to us, and we don't know who these people are. And so let us allow the police to do its work. And I have repeated myself again and again. This is exactly my stand with the police, and I'm telling you the same thing, is that everything that has to be done has to be on the basis of evidence. So as I said, I don't have the exact number with me, but yesterday's numbers are close to 40, but I don't have the exact numbers with me. And as I said that for me, I don't look at political affiliation. I am purely going by the evidence of who was present there. The videos are circulating everywhere for everybody to see, and Facebook posts are coming out from individual accounts, and hence based on clear black and white evidence, only based on that arrests are being made. And as I said, from day one, I have not mentioned anything about political parties, and I refrain from doing that because that's not the way I would like to look at this situation.
For giving political color to this whole, so are you open for independent proof to this? So that everything will be.
We'll wait for the initial reports that come in, and yes, if there is necessary, because as I said, if you look at the whole situation, if the NGOs are saying these were not their people, then who were these people? So obviously there has to be some kind of a system to find out who was there, who are these people, and what was their intention. So therefore, yes, initially, prima facie, there looks like a very kind of a complicated situation, and which may require further investigation. But at this point in time, I would say that let the police do its job, and then we will see how to move forward. When I was entering, I could not count the people, but numbers looked anywhere between 500 to about 700 people. That's what I would assess. I could be wrong. It's just on my basic assessment. But after I entered, I was told the numbers swelled up and went to close to 1,500 people. To maybe even 2,000 people, but this is purely on the basis of just what people told me. But as I said, and my assessment also, and I said I could be wrong, I would say that I saw about 500 to 700 people standing, and they were standing there on the roadside. They did not do anything, and I went in quite smoothly. But of course, they were on both sides of the road, so it was quite a large number, and there were some people behind, and also. Yeah, and that was the scene when I entered.
What is the loss of damage caused?
Well, I don't have the details with me, but number one is the damage in terms of human beings, in the sense that a lot of people were hurt, and a lot of people who were just doing their duty, they were hurt, and some of them were quite seriously hurt. One of them, in fact, one of the first few who was hurt, I was sitting with him only. And he had a big cut on his forehead and bleeding profusely, and but then we were able to control it. We then because luckily the doctor who normally accompanies the chief minister, there's the protocol is there. That doctor was present there, and because of his presence, actually many of the people, the police who were injured, they managed to get first aid, and they were. They were able to. So number one, there was a huge loss in terms of the injury that was there to the people. A lot of vehicles were damaged, and we saw a lot of glasses being broken, including my spare car, which is there, one of my vehicles that is there, which my staff sits in, and many other vehicles in my convoy. And the minister's vehicle was damaged. Civilians, some vehicles were damaged. Police, of course, vehicles were burnt, some of them, and so that damage was there. There was some damage to the building also. There was some damage to some chairs that were taken by some organizations from one of the Mahari associations. So I refrain from taking the name of the Mahari, but those who have a Mahari association also, who had just given it of course as a rental thing. They have nothing to do with the movement. It's purely rental. But the Mahari also had to incur a loss in terms of their damage to their chairs. So like that, there was damage, quite a bit of damage. First of all, let me be very clear. It is the police who defended me, not harmed me. They were right in the front protecting me and protecting the other people sitting inside, including the leaders of the NGOs. The people who tried to harm were the people who were outside. So I don't think that's a correct analysis. The harm was being caused by the people who are outside. Who they are, only time will tell. But the police were doing their duty, and they did it very well. And they swiftly acted. They put themselves in the front. They got injured, and they protected, and they did their duty. So I think it is completely incorrect, especially coming from a former chief minister, who should understand the role and responsibility of what the police does when they always are in the front, sacrificing and even endangering their lives. I think condemning them is not the right thing to do, and it's not fair at all. Regarding the fact that they are acting on behalf of the government, I have again repeating myself, everything is based on evidence. Every single person who's being picked up or arrested is on video, repeatedly instigating the people with very, very strong language. People who have instigated on Facebook and other social medias, and people who have, through evidence and investigation, been found to be connected in the overall incident that happened. So therefore, it's very simple for somebody to just simply say they're acting on political masters or something like that. I don't think that's appropriate to say that. As I said, you can look into the whole thing, and you will find that every action that's been taken has been based on evidence. And it so happens that certain individuals were linked to certain political parties, but that's how it is. But that is not the reason why it happened. It just so happened that they were linked to somebody. But as I said, the arrests were made not because they belonged to a certain party, but the arrest was made because the evidence was available. You see, it's like this. Intelligence failure is a very easy word to use, and we can always hindsight look at any situation and say intelligence failure. Intelligence gathering is a very complicated subject, and I keep repeating this in the past also, that police receive a lot of intelligence, but they have to take certain decisions based on the past record, on the intelligence source that is coming in from, the overall situation that is prevailing. And so it's not always that they get it correct. Now, as I said, it's so easy to make a statement and say intelligence failure and blame everything on intelligence failure. I know it's the most simplest thing to do, but I don't think it's entirely fair to conclude and say intelligence failure took place. Yes, there was level lapses because it's a very complicated situation. Intelligence did come in, and I'm repeating again that I was told not to go there, but I had, but this is after I had given a commitment that I will go there. And hence, if I had backtracked on my statement and not gone there, then it would be again construed in a different manner. And hence, it was important that I stuck to my commitment to meet the people where they had wanted me to meet and go there, in spite of the police and the security agencies repeatedly requesting me not to go. So therefore, that's how it is. And but yet, when you look at the whole situation, we can study from all of this and make sure that whatever steps and lapses that were there, which could have improved in the future, those things can be done. But as I said, these situations are very complicated to read. As I said, even the NGOs did not know what is happening. And now, when we looked at the available evidence on the spot, after the incident happened, when they actually went in and studied the entire location, that's when evidence started coming out that there was already stones piled up. There was already kerosene and petrol collected out there, because I think there were some bottles and some containers that were still left there. There was already evidence of sticks being collected. So all these aspects then led to the conclusion that it was pre-planned. So it is only after the situation happened and when the police went to see that spot where the incident took place, all these leftovers that were there led to the conclusion that was pre-planned. But as I said, it is not for me to give any conclusion on any of the situations. There is a process, there is a procedure, there is a system of doing things. We should allow the police agencies to do their job, and let us see what the investigations come out with. And it should be done in an independent manner, so that whatever happens purely on the basis of evidence. I had a talk with the DGP, because he had come to Tura the very next day. He had arrived, and I had met him, and they have mentioned it to me, but I have not gone into details of that. But that's, as I said, that's a process and a procedure that follows in its own independent manner, and there is a agency and a security level that where the government and the department they sit and they assess the security of different individuals, and that will follow again an independent process. So that's nothing for me to comment on. That's the independent agency or the committee that is going to decide.
Sir, opposition TMC has demanded independent inquiry monitored by High Court.
So as I said, it is too early for me to say anything on that. We will wait for the initial reports that will come from the police department, and only then will we be able to decide on how to move forward.